Hi, Time teachers. This is Hannah from Michigan State University, and I'm here to tell you about how to use the National Geographic website. So the website is the main place you'll go to get all of the materials you need to teach the units, and I want to give you a brief overview of how to do that. So the first place you want to make sure you go is to the home page, the Carbon Time homepage, and we recommend creating a bookmark to this homepage so that you can find it easily, especially so if you navigate off of the home page while you're looking for things, you can always come back to it quickly. So when you're on the Carbon Time homepage, you'll always see Carbon Time here at the top. On the right-hand rail here, you'll see links to all 6 units. And if you scroll down, you'll see a brief overview of the Carbon Time project, a bit more background information in case you would like to know more, and links to help you understand more about the project. And you may be interested in previewing some of these documents before you start teaching or returning to it while you're teaching, and that you'll find some helpful information here. One thing I wanted to point out is that the links on the side here look different for human energy systems and ecosystems than they do for the other units. And that's because all of our information for these first 4 units are all on the National Geographic website, and ecosystems and human energy systems we're still working on uploading. And so those should be ready by December for you to use online. So if you click on the Systems and Scale link, it's going to take you to another National Geographic website. But if you click on the Ecosystems link, it's going to take you to the MSU website where you can download the materials there. Something else about the MSU website is that if you're interested in downloading a zip file of all of the documents for the entire unit in one big chunk, you can do that at the MSU website as well. So I'd like to have a look at what happens when you explore some of the units. You'll see down here on our homepage there are links to all 6 units. So let's have a look at what happens when we go to the Systems and Scale unit page. So you'll notice now I'm at the Systems and Scale unit page. There's a brief description. The right-hand rail will still have links to all of the other units, but notice not Systems and Scale because that's where I am now. Here, if you scroll down, you'll find a brief description of the unit and some documents that will help you with this unit specifically. For example, how to administer the pre and post tests and how to interpret their answers and some other things you might find useful as you teach this unit. If you scroll down, you'll see that our units are divided into lessons, and this unit page will give you a preview of all of those lessons. So here you can see the Systems and Scale unit has 4 lessons total, and this will also give you a preview of the activities that are within the lessons. So let's explore one of the lessons from Systems and Scale and see how that looks. I'm going to click on lesson 4. Okay, so now I'm at the lesson page. And you'll notice the lesson page now has a lot of new information on it. At the top you can see the title of the lesson. So we're in lesson 4, investigating and explaining burning ethanol, and then our guiding question, what happens to ethanol as it burns? Now in the right-hand rail you'll see there's always a link to get back to the Carbon Time program page. So remember, you can get there from your bookmark, but if you ever want to go back to the home page, there's a link here. Here, there's a link back to the Systems and Scale unit page, which we just came from, and then links to other lessons in the Systems and Scale unit. So notice right now, because I'm in lesson 4, there's no link to lesson 4, but I can navigate either to the other lessons, back to Systems and Scale, or back to the main home page. Now down here in the right-hand rail, there will always be a little bit about application and inquiry sequences. And it's just a reminder here about what those are, but if at any point you are interested in reminding yourself or learning more about what application and inquiry are and why we use them in the Carbon Time units, you can click here and this will give you a document that explains it in more detail. Okay, so there are 3 things on the lesson level page that I want to make sure to point out to you. One of those are these 4 tabs here. I also want to talk about the resource carousel, which is this, and I want to make sure we talk about these print and download buttons. So let's start with these 4 tabs. These 4 tabs are going to give you all of the information you need to teach the unit, and they're organized this way. So let's look at the Directions tab first, which is where I am now. If I scroll down, the Directions tab has the bulk of the information that I need as a teacher to know how to teach this activity. So activity 1, you'll notice here, has a brief description, and then if I expand the directions here, it's going to step by step tell me exactly what I need to do during the lesson. And you'll notice there's a time estimate here. There are tips and modifications here, which have fun information that might help you modify the lesson a bit. If I scroll down, here there are tips about formative assessment. So formative assessment is very important in the Carbon Time curriculum, and this will give you tips about what to look out for when you are listening to your students' ideas throughout the activity. The Extending the Learning section will give you tips on how to keep going in case you're interested in exploring these ideas further. And then finally there'll be a brief description of how to transition from activity 1 to activity 2. So now you finished activity 1 where students did this, and now we're going to go to activity 2 when they'll do this. Just to give you some ideas about how to help your students move through these activities smoothly. So notice there's the same information for activity 2 and activity 3, but at the top, if I want to just look at one of the activities, I can deselect activity 2 or 3 and just look at activity 1. So you'll notice now I have activity 1, and activity 2 and 3 are hidden from my site, and I can change that anytime. Okay, let's look at the Objectives tab. In this tab, I can also deselect any activities I don't want to look at, and this tells me some information about why you might be teaching this activity in your classroom and how you might be teaching this in your classroom. It tells you about subjects and disciplines, the learning objectives, the teaching approach, teaching methods, and skills that you might need, that your students will be learning when they do this activity in your classroom. So just like before, I can look at the learning objectives and teaching approaches for all of the activities in this unit, or I can just do it for one at a time. So let's now move to the Preparation tab. The Preparation tab has all the information about the materials you will need to teach this lesson. So there are a couple sections. The materials you provide is going to be a list of actual physical things that you need to prepare before you teach the lesson. So a butane lighter, a digital balance, ethanol, things like that that you're going to order from Stacy before you teach the lessons. Resources provided down here is going to have a list of things you can actually download from this website. So they're going to be paper things or PowerPoint presentations like handouts, posters, presentations, data tables, things like that. And all of those will be available down here under the Preparations tab. And remember, you can deselect to just get a couple if you want them. Okay. This will also remind you if you need a computer, what kind of space you'll need to be teaching it, and what kind of group work you'll be doing. Now the final tab, Background and Vocabulary, will give me background information about this activity, which we definitely recommend reading, and any prior knowledge or recommended prior lessons that the students might need to do. Okay, so this is one way, just one way on this website to get this information on these 4 tabs. Now I want to talk about the resource carousel, which also has this information arranged slightly differently. The resource carousel is going to give you a preview of what you'll be able to download for each activity. So right now I'm clicking on the lesson overview, and notice the lesson overview gives me a brief description of the lesson, which contains all 3 activities, a time estimate for the whole lesson, and an age range. And now here you'll see I have a square for each of the activities in the lesson. So if I click on activity 1, this is going to give me a brief overview of activity 1 age range, and time estimate, just like it did below. It's just arranged differently. And if I click here, view the resources, it's going to show me the resources that I can download. So one advantage of using the resource carousel over getting things from the preparation tab down here is that this will give me a visual preview of what I'm going to download. So I can click here and I can get a look at it. I can blow it up to full screen in case I want to project it on the wall and I don't want to download it. Or I can download it here by clicking on this button, Download. So another neat thing that is in the resource carousel I want to show you. So if I go to Activity 2, there are a lot of materials for Activity 2, and I scroll all the way over. There are videos embedded in our units now, and I want to show you how one of them works. You can always look at the video from the resource carousel just like this. So if I press play,
all right, let's talk about ethanol.
I can watch it right in the resource carousel. Or if I click on this button down here, presentation mode, I can blow it up to a full screen and I can watch the video on a full screen. So, and I can do the same thing for Activity 3, and you can see all of the materials here. So, this now is the second way that you can get the resources for this activity in addition to the preparation tab. The third way I want to show you is by using the print and download buttons. So this print button here is going to create a PDF that has all of the information that's available in these 4 tabs. So it will print everything that you could have found in those tabs in one document, and you can also save it as a PDF if you would like to. The download button gives you a different set of information. So the download button doesn't just show you the information that's in these tabs, but it also includes the materials that you'll need. So the download button is going to download a zip file to your computer, and here is the title of it. So it's going to be the same title of the lesson, .zip, and that means that it's lots of files all zipped together into one file. So you need to download that onto your computer. When you open the zip file, it will unzip it and it will give you access to all of the files in the zip file. So this is going to include everything you need to teach: the directions, the objectives, the preparation, and also the activities. So there'll be the file in there for the presentation and the poster and all of these things that you can see in the resource carousel. If you want to download everything all at one time for the whole lesson, you can click on that download button and it will download everything for you. You'll want to double check that the PowerPoints come with the download file. And if for some reason there's anything that you can't find in that downloaded zip file, you can always come to this preparation tab and find everything that you need here in case you want to download things just one at a time. So, just as a review, you can get all of the materials on the preparation tab here one at a time. You can get a visual preview of them here in the resource carousel and also download them one at a time if you'd like. Or you can download them all in one big zip file with the download button. And remember, if you want to download this right here, this download button allows you to download a zip file for just the lesson. If I go back to the Systems and Scale unit page, if I want to download everything for the unit page, I can do that at the Michigan State website. So, and you can always find links to those here or in group spaces. All right, so that's everything I had to tell you about the website today. I hope you enjoy navigating this and exploring it. And if you have any questions about how to navigate this website, I'm happy to talk to you about it. My name is Hannah, and you can email me at hkm@msu.edu. Good luck!